So let's talk about crafting a compelling relationship between the protagonist and the villain. The first part of that is the essence of conflict in storytelling. Now, the relationship between the protagonist and the villain in a story is the central component that drives the narrative forward, thereby keeping the reader engaged. A well-crafted, intricate relationship between these two characters not only creates conflict and tension, but also forms the basis for an emotional connection with the audience. And that, of course, leads to a more satisfying and memorable reading experience. So let's delve into the various aspects of crafting a compelling relationship between the protagonist and the villain. So conflict is undeniably the cornerstone of any good story. Kurt Vonnegut once said, every story is about a conflict that is finally resolved, and that really is it in a nutshell. That battle between opposing forces generates a sense of urgency and tension. A well-developed connection between the protagonist and the villain not only maintains the reader's interest, but also establishes the foundation of the narrative, and it guides the character's growth, and through that growth advances the plot. Now, there are several different types of conflict in literature, like character versus character versus self, character versus society, versus nature, versus technology. But character versus character conflict is the most prevalent type in stories that feature a protagonist and a villain. And that conflict emerges from clashing goals, desires, or belief systems of the two characters that presents challenges for each other, and that also helps propel that narrative forward. Now, antagonists, or villains as we've been calling them, are essential in generating conflict. They test the protagonist, forcing them to confront their fears, face their weaknesses, and then develop as a character. That's that growth, that character arc. A well-crafted antagonist possesses attributes and motivations that not only contrast with those of the protagonist, but also expose deeper facets of the story's themes and message. So an excellent example of this dynamic can be found in J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series, where the conflict between Harry and Voldemort really drives that narrative. Throughout the story, the relationship between these two characters grows increasingly intricate, with each profoundly impacting the other's life. Now, Voldemort's pursuit of immortality and power starkly contrasts with Harry's selfless bravery and the desire to safeguard his loved ones. This tension, built upon their entwined destinies and escalating confrontations, keeps the reader engaged. Now, the role of conflict in shaping this narrative is paramount. As the essential component of the relationship between the protagonist and the villain, conflict provides momentum for the story, uncovering vital aspects of character and plot. The stakes rise as the conflict intensifies, resulting in a narrative that holds the reader's attention. As the stakes rise, there is more to lose. And furthermore, conflict enables the exploration of those themes and hopefully those moral dilemmas. And this allows the author to offer insights into societal issues, human nature, or philosophical questions without being too heavy-handed or preachy.